Welcome to episode 51 of the Twig Snapper Podcast. Today I'm joined by Claire Peterson of the UCONN women's hockey team. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain. I figured we could start by talking about this season and then kind of work backwards. You guys are having a decent year, but you're in a little bit of a tough stretch here. You guys are losing some close games throughout the recent stretch. How do you deal with that personally? Obviously, it's tough when you guys know you could be winning these games, and you're not. So it's hard to deal with. So how do you deal with that personally?
Well, personally, like in the past, I used to like really let it weigh on me, and it used to be the one and only thing I thought about. But now that I've grown into this mature um, leadership role, I guess, on the team, I've learned to like take that moment of like a loss is a loss. Yes, it hurts. Uh, but there's always going to be a lesson to every loss that we have, and there's always going to be a reason why. And so I try to dissect that, understand it, and then I forget about it. I
Yeah.
try to. My motto on the team, and everybody, if you talk to all my teammates, is I like to ride the wave. I like to take that motto and have it stick with me. So that's how I've been treating this year, at least. So
Well, that's the best way to do it. I mean, if you just dwell on it, you're gonna make yourself miserable, and
yeah.
that's not gonna help the situation. What have your coaches been saying to you guys like throughout this stretch of games?
Yeah, they've just been telling us to maintain our confidence and to realize that, yes, we are a younger team, but we have great talent and that we need to trust in ourselves and we got to trust in each other that we can beat any team out there. Like we have the capabilities, we have the talent. It's just realizing that and putting that to use on the ice. So.
Right. And you guys got a couple of important games here to finish out the year against Holy Cross, which did you guys just lost to them 2-1.
Yeah, yes, we did.
So, obviously a tight game coming up. You play them two more times to wrap up the regular season. Going into these games, what are you guys thinking? What's the game plan? What's on everyone's minds?
Yeah, I think on everybody's minds is we just gotta score. That's been one of our struggles this entire year, but I think our main motto for these next two games is put pucks on net and crash the net. Let's get goals in so that we can take the lead because every opponent in Hockey East is going to be hard. And so
Yeah,
we have to make sure that we live up to our standard and that we're not playing to other people's standards. So if we take the motto, shoot pucks, get pucks to the net, play to our identity, I think we should be good for these next two games. So.
right. How important are these two games and like a conference playoff implications and things like that?
Oh, these two games are crucial because we just opened up the new rink, as most people know. And so we're trying to get that home ice advantage for playoffs. So if we win these next two games and some other teams lose, then we get home ice advantage. So,
And that's always a huge advantage for
yeah,
playoffs to have that home ice, your home fans.
yeah, exactly.
And we'll talk about that new rink a little bit later on here, but I want to stick to this kind of this playoff talk. So going into your conference playoffs, you guys were on kind of the lower end of the top 15 rankings, and
Yeah.
now you're right outside on the receiving votes side of it. Um, are you guys in a situation where you need to either win your conference to get into the national playoffs? Is that kind of where you guys are at, or you guys could still squeak in if you don't win your conference?
I think we have to win out in order to make the playoffs. And me and my roommate actually just started watching Shorzy. And so we're going to take that motto as we're never losing again.
Definitely. Hey, it's possible. It happens, and you
Yeah.
guys have proven throughout the year that you can win. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
this last stretch of tough games doesn't define your team.
Yeah.
Overall, you guys have been having a good season. If you look at, the whole college hockey world, this year's been really tight, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I think in women's college hockey, for the past maybe 10 years, there was a long time where it was just like Wisconsin, Clarkson, and a few other teams, and nobody else had a chance.
Yeah.
But I feel like especially this year, we're really starting to see where any weekend, any team can win. It's been crazy this year.
Yeah, no, I think it's really great that the disparity is starting to close in, especially in women's ice hockey, because then it'll draw more people to watch it, especially like if there are more teams that are pulling off upsets. Like even this past weekend, I don't want to say, but I kind of want to say we were close to an upset win, and then we had an upset loss, So yeah, so but that just shows like the game is growing so much.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you look at women's ice hockey over the past like 20 years, it's grown so much since then, and there's so much growth into the future with new programs being added to D1, and some of those programs are having some pretty decent success for how new they are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy to just like come in and try to compete with some of these teams.
Yeah.
And then like we said, any weekend anyone can. And I was talking about this in my last episode with my guest on the men's side of things. It seems to be the same thing this year. Like it's really inconsistent. Nobody is just they're guaranteed to win this weekend.
Yeah.
Any weekend you guys could win, the other team could win. Who knows?
Yeah.
And that makes it fun for the fans, but it's got to be stressful for you as a player, like knowing.
It's a little stressful, but I honestly think it's exciting. Like, I love being in a position of being thought of as an underdog. So if we're an underdog in any situation, especially like against like Northeastern, and then we pull off like a tie, I think it's just goes to show you like anybody can beat anybody. Like,
right.
You're not going around saying you're the best anymore. Like, you got to watch yourself sometimes.
Yeah, it makes it. Here, hold on. I got to plug in my laptop.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good.
It makes it exciting, like you said. I mean, for the fans too. Nobody wants to watch everybody just the same team winning, and everyone likes upsets. Everyone likes underdogs. They like the March Madness kind of stuff, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So now let's talk about that new ring, because obviously that's pretty exciting. Just like talk about playing on it for the first time, and like all of that, and just how nice it is.
It was so surreal walking in there for the first time. Like, we went from a little barn, like, no shame or discredit to Freitas, but it wasn't as great as what the Dan is now. It's just walking in there, and you just look up and you're like, oh my God, this is all ours. Like, we get to be here. And it just showed a new level of appreciation for playing this sport and for being where I am today. So I was in awe. Like, I have videos on my phone. Sorry. Videos on my phone of me walking into the rink and just, I'm speechless. Like, I cannot say anything. Or I said some swear words, but I won't repeat. So,
yeah, and I mean, in college hockey now too, like there's so many teams that have amazing rinks. So if you were playing in a smaller one, every time you got to travel to a nice rink, now you guys just get to play in one all the time. Practice in one, like it's yours. It's
and
it makes it better.
There's still new things getting put up every single day that we're in there. And so sometimes I'll just turn a corner. I'm like, oh my gosh, that graphic's new. That's kind of cool. So it's like Christmas almost every day.
That's awesome. And obviously you don't want to jinx you, but if you guys were to get home ice in your new barn, it would just, it would be obviously awesome. So it's all really cool. what was the first game like, when you guys played your first home game in that? I mean, did you guys get more fans because people were curious about the new rink, or?
Yeah, well, we've been getting more fans compared to the Freitas, but that first weekend we had all of our alumni come back from years past, and so that just brought the energy, and all of our parents came as well, and then a lot of fans came that weekend. So the energy that brought was put out onto the ice as well. So I feel like we played one of our best weekends that weekend because we had all that energy. We had the excitement, the newness of everything. So it was really fun. I really enjoyed that weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I bet it just makes it, when you've got your family and you've got alumni and all that stuff, it kind of makes it a little more special than a regular old weekend.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about why did you choose UConn? What stuck out about UConn and why you wanted to go play hockey there?
Uh, well, this is actually a very funny story. I because I'm from California, I didn't get much looks from D1 schools, especially. So while people around me were committing freshman, sophomore year, I was still holding out hope my junior year, almost senior year summer that time. And then I got an email from Coach Mack, and I was like, "Oh, do you want like a little email? Let's check this out." And he invited me to his camp, and that was also the summer I had finally made national camp, which was a big deal to me and to everybody at home because if you made it, like you were good because they only accepted like 2 people from this your what's called district, which included California, Texas, like the Pacific District, all those people. So like I had some good competition while I was there too. So when I finally made it, I was just in shock. And so when I went to national camp, Coach Parks was my coach at that camp. And I had signed up for that UConn camp as well. And I looked at her on the last day and I go, "Coach Parks, I'm going to your UConn camp." And she was like, "Why didn't you tell me sooner? I would have talked to you so much more." And I was like, I'm like scared of my shadow right now. And so then I went to the UConn camp, met all the coaches, and I went into that camp with the motto of I'm just going to have fun, kind of like how I'm taking the senior year, which is like, let's ride the wave. If I don't get there, like I'll go D3. Like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the camp, Coach Matt came up to me and he was like, "Hey kid, you're pretty good." I was like, "Thanks." He's like, "Would you like to come to UConn?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really would." So yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
it really was. I didn't really have any other options. So
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
well, it obviously was meant to be. It
Yeah.
worked out the way it was supposed to, and you seem happy now, which is what counts.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
if you've enjoyed your experience, obviously some people transfer, 3 or 4 different times throughout their college career,
Yeah.
and the pick wasn't right, but obviously it all worked out the way it was supposed to be, and you get to play in one of the best college hockey conferences,
Yeah.
that there is in the country. Hockey East is just, it's incredibly hard to play in.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
it's any night, anyone can show up. What do you think is the hardest like barn to go into in Hockey East and play? Like the team's just got the loudest fans, and it's just going to be tough every time you go there.
I have to say BU. BU has always been a struggle, especially for me personally, to just go in there and to play against because, first of all, their band is loud and I'm not going to lie, kind of annoying. Like, we're sitting at starting lineups and I'm like, who is going? Like, I know who's going, but who is supposed to go right now? Yeah, so, but I feel like I still put on a competition when I go. It's just always hard.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can make it stressful for you. Bands they're good at being annoying to
Oh,
other teams. At Tech, our pet band, they're great at annoying the other teams and being
Yeah.
loud and obnoxious, and
Yeah.
you can't let it get to you, because obviously
Yeah.
that's what they want. They
Yeah,
want to
of
get in your
course.
head and
Yeah. See, what I sometimes do while I'm listening to the band, and I'll start listening to their music. I'm like, damn, this is a good song that they're playing. Like, credit to them.
yeah. Right,
So,
you take what they're giving you and you flip it, and you're not going to let it annoy you, but
oh
you're going to
yeah.
realize, like, hey, this is kind of a bop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta jam, you know?
Yeah, you just, like you said, you got to ride the wave. You got to
Exactly. You just gotta
that's
go
a
with emotions.
it's a good motto for life. That's a good life lesson for anyone who's listening. You got to just ride the wave, go with the
Yeah, just
motions.
ride the wave, you know? You never know what life's gonna throw at you.
Exactly. So let's talk about before UConn for a while. I was trying to like dissect your bio on and this is massive paragraph, and I was trying to like pick out what's important and what's not, and like figure out what was connected and what wasn't.
Yeah.
But like you said, you're from California.
Yeah.
You played for the San Jose Junior Sharks.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about that for a little bit, like growing up playing women's hockey in California.
Yeah.
Obviously it's growing, but it's still, obviously somebody who grows up on the east, in Massachusetts is going to have a better shot than
Yeah.
or more attention, easier going than somebody in California.
Yeah. So growing up in California, um, sorry, I'm still laughing at that bio thing. My mom took that sheet and she just put all of my accomplishments. And I looked at it and I went, I don't think I need all of this. And she was like, I already sent the email. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So
There's a
sorry about
lot
that.
there's a lot of stuff to dissect there.
Yeah, there's a lot of non-important things on that bio, but they won't let me change it. So but growing up on the West Coast, hockey was very hard to come by, you know. Also, ice incredibly expensive out here. So just when I had the opportunity to get on the ice, I was on the ice. My parents threw me in anything and everything. Like I played travel ice hockey, I played high school ice hockey, I played in-house ice hockey, and then I also played roller hockey. So then I played travel roller hockey, high school roller hockey, in-house roller hockey. And so it was just like going back and forth from rink to rink all the time. But yeah, like playing travel ice hockey out there for girls, especially, there were only two teams in California. It was like us and the Anaheim Ducks, you know? And so we had
Yeah.
a real good rivalry. And like we hated each other for the longest time. And then I realized some of those girls are actually really nice. So I can't let that affect it. But yeah, so we'd play the same couple of teams over and over again. And so we would have to go on tournaments a lot. And so I traveled almost like every month, traveling, skipping school for weeks on end. And it was hard, but the one thing that really saved me was I had a best friend on the team. We went to the same high school, so she understood my pain. She understood everything, and we did almost everything together. So that's what really helped me. But yeah, it was just lots of travel. Played guys as well. So when we weren't traveling, we were playing against uh, guys teams at home. So yeah, I think that answers your question. I'm
Yeah.
still distracted about the bio thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's hard, especially out in California. There's no programs out there that are going to look at you. All of the
Yeah,
major women's college hockey programs are out east. And,
yeah,
and even on the men's side, like you've got Arizona State now,
yeah,
down the south, where they can have some exposure to that out west side. But like anyone coming from California has just a much harder time. Obviously girls have an even harder time
yeah,
um, than guys do, But hopefully, you know, it'd be kind of neat if a college out there could have a women's hockey program. I think that would kind of
Yeah.
vault things forward.
Yeah.
But roller hockey, that, you know, that's got to be huge out there since there's
Oh,
less ice.
yeah, it's massive out there. Everybody takes it so seriously out there too. And I enjoy it so much. Like every girl that's from California, at least I think. I'm not, maybe I should backtrack. Almost all the girls that play D1 ice hockey that are from California probably also play roller hockey too. So it's nice to see them whenever I go out and play some roller hockey. But I didn't actually I like quit roller hockey for a little bit and then I got back into it this past summer. So yeah.
Does it help like with training for ice hockey?
I don't know about training, but it does give you a different perspective on the game. You know, because roller hockey, there's no icing, there's no
Right.
offsides and all that. So
Yeah.
it's all about puck possession and it's all about understanding space, time, and all of that, and what you can do with the puck. So where I think
Yeah.
roller hockey allows you to bring the puck back, where ice hockey is all about go, go, go. You know.
Yeah. So
So
maybe the only thing that you could really work on is like puck handling or something
yeah,
like that. That could be a benefit.
yeah.
You were a three-time medalist, a silver and gold, 19 UAA, and then bronze at 12 UAA at the national championships. I guess talk about that for a little bit. What exactly, you know, like what kind of a stage is that? Like, is that the national tournament for,
Yeah,
you know?
it was. I'm trying to remember as you're asking this question. I'm not gonna lie, I have a terrible memory. So, um, I I think it was pretty cool. I remember it was a huge deal when we won the gold. Because I don't think our program got close to it, but it wasn't like thought of at that time. So when we won gold, it was a huge deal around the rink. They had like ceremonies and all of that. So it's kind of cool to see all the fanfare, you know. We also went to
Yeah.
City Hall and got to meet the mayor. So that was pretty cool as like a 16-year-old, even though I know nothing about local governments or anything.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
that
but
was your version of going to the White House when you win the
yeah,
Super Bowl. That was
exactly. It
your,
was
you
a
know.
huge deal. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's neat.
yeah.
Um, let's switch gears again here and talk about like what's next. Do you want to stay in hockey? Would
Mhm.
you keep playing if you could? Do you want to coach? I know I was looking, I think I found your LinkedIn and it said that you've coached some youth.
Yeah.
So do you want to stay around hockey?
I definitely do. I don't think I could imagine my life without hockey. Like, I've been doing this since I was like 3. So,
Yeah.
a life without hockey is just unimaginable to me right now.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I might have to start thinking about it. But as of right now, I do plan on staying in hockey. I'm actually coming back for a 5th year. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be at UConn for 1 more year, whether they like
Yeah.
it or not. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
but
mean,
yeah, and
there's
then after that, I wanna play overseas. I wanna kind of follow in the Wabik sisters' footsteps, you know, where they're out in
go,
Sweden right now. So,
yeah, go
yeah.
experience some other. I mean, I haven't had the privilege of interviewing any women's hockey players that have played overseas, only men's, but they can only say good things about like their experiences over
Yeah.
in Sweden or Germany or wherever they're playing. Nobody really, the only one people seem to not say is a good experience is playing in Russia. But
Oh, yeah,
otherwise,
that's fair.
everyone's like, you know, the teams were great. You know, we got to experience, you know, traveling around to all these amazing places. You get to live overseas for a couple years. It's just, something
Yeah.
that's awesome to experience. I can't really see any downsides to
Yeah. No, I'm still trying to convince my parents that I
it.
wanna go travel overseas, but they're starting to soften up about all that.
Yeah. And when
So
you've got to do it when you're young, it's easier. Go over there when you're young, have some fun, play some hockey.
yeah,
It-
exactly. That's all
it's-
I'm trying to do. I'm trying to enjoy life, ride the
yeah.
wave.
Yeah, right, exactly. Ride the wave. You're studying what molecular and cellular biology.
Yeah.
So what exactly do you do with that?
That's a great question. Right now, I recently had an internship in neurodegenerative diseases. And so that's kind of where I want to take my life to. I want to do research, and like that's how I think I can help people because I
Yeah.
have two passions in life: hockey and just helping people in any way I can. So I feel like with my molecular and cellular biology degree, I could help people through research and all that. And so, yeah, I've also just grown up around it my entire life. My parents both did it, and I just always wanted to understand what the hell they were saying at the dinner table. So
Yeah.
now I understand, and now I think I can help people.
So you enjoy research?
Oh, yeah, I think it's so cool discovering something new and then being able to I like problem solving. So I feel like
Yeah.
if I find a problem, figure out how to fix it, and then apply that,
Yeah.
I think that that's the best course of action for me, at least.
Yeah, that's great. I can't stand research. I'm in forestry, and in
Oh,
like in the
geez.
natural resource world,
Yeah,
you can go like the research route, or you can go the working outdoors and like a lot of
mhm,
hands on and all that. And I
yeah,
have had no desire to go the research route at all. I
yeah,
have like professors are always doing studies on different things, and
yeah.
you can have students work with them. Never even crossed my mind. I have
Oh,
no
really?
desire. I can't stand research and all that. I want to be the guy out there. I'd rather
Yeah,
collect the data and then somebody
yeah,
else can do the research.
yeah.
you know?
Hey, fair enough, to each their own,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I'm crazy for liking what I do. Like, I'll start talking to my teammates, and they're like, "You're the only one that's interested in this." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
good to know."
I do feel like there's probably a smaller group of people that enjoy research than people
Yeah.
that don't enjoy research. But hey, somebody's got to like it. Somebody's
Yeah,
got to be
exactly.
interested in it.
Yeah,
Where would we
yeah,
be if we didn't have researchers?
yeah, exactly. I'm just here to help.
Right, exactly. Those are two great passions to have, helping people in hockey. You can't have
Yeah,
better passions than that.
exactly. That's what I thought too growing up. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't we wrap it up with what are your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not playing hockey, which I know, college hockey takes up a lot of your life, but when
Yeah.
you do have free time, what do you like to do?
So I love to bake. I am a huge baker. The
Like, are we
girls on the
talking like cookies, cakes, that kind of stuff, or like,
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like I have a cheesecake in my fridge right now that I'm about to chow down after this. So, but yeah, no, the team calls me like the baker of the team because like every Thanksgiving I'll come over with like cookies or like cupcakes or anything. And like if I also bake when I'm like kind of sad. So if I'm ever sad, like I was recently sad because I like couldn't practice or something, and I baked two cheesecakes.
and then
So
did you eat the cheesecakes?
made two. So I ate one, and that half of one is in my fridge that I'm about to chow down on.
Hey, it makes you happy. Food always helps.
Oh yeah, food always helps. Yeah. And then what I had another hobby in mind. Oh, I binge watch TV like crazy. I don't know if that's a hobby, but
I would say nowadays it is a hobby.
yeah, like I told you earlier in the episode that I was watching Shorzy. Me and my roommate finished that in a day. In a day. We sat down. we were like, hey, you want to watch Shorzy? And we were like, yeah. And watched it through and through, did not stop.
So, what kind of other shows do you watch other than Shorzy?
Well, we also just finished the F1 series. So excited for that to come out, The Drive to Survive.
Mm-hmm.
We're big on like the internet streaming services because
Yeah,
we
like
have no
Netflix
cable.
or
Yeah,
whatever, Prime, different ones that all have their
yeah,
own original stuff.
yeah, exactly. So whatever we can get our hands on, that's what we'll start watching. I don't know. It always varies every time, but whatever me and my roommate agree upon, we'll watch it.
Doesn't matter if it's comedy or drama or whatever. Like you guys don't lean one way or the other.
No, we do like a good bit of comedy, but sometimes, like, especially if it's a longer show, you gotta break it up, you know?
Yeah.
So we started Supernatural, so that's a long series, so we had to break it up with New Girl, you know? Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we started watching F1. F1 we could watch for hours. That one, I don't know what it did. It hooked, line, and sinked us. Man, we watched that straight for a week and then we finished
Yeah.
it.
So you recommend it?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
any show that you can just like plow through without stopping, it's got to
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
This past summer, my roommate and I, he was a big Game of Thrones guy, and I'd never
Oh,
seen Game of
really?
Thrones, and he was like, "You got to see it. It's one of the best shows ever."
Oh, yeah.
And why we started watching it, and then every night for a month we'd watch it, and then I'd spend my Saturdays watching like 6 or 7 episodes, and they're all an hour long. So I
Yeah.
mean, I got sucked in hard.
Yeah. Holy shoot. That's actually a show we haven't watched yet.
Oh, I can't.
So
It's awesome.
we might,
It's
I just don't know if it's like our taste, you know?
ah
So,
yeah. I guess you kind of have to like that type of that type of show. I mean, it's got a lot in it. It's like
yeah.
based like a medieval times, but then there's also kind of magic and dragons and
Yeah.
zombies, and it's got a lot going for it. But
Yeah.
if it's not your taste, right?
Yeah. I don't know about the zombies, man. I don't do zombies. Like, that
Yeah,
is too close to comfort. Like, that thing could happen. And
I
I
I
don't like
don't I don't really do zombies either. Like Walking Dead, wouldn't
that.
touch
Oh,
it. Not gonna watch
absolutely
it.
not.
This is the only zombie thing I've ever watched, and
Okay.
it's not like the main
Okay.
storyline.
Okay. Then I guess we might have to watch it. We might. I don't know.
Worth a try.
Yeah, I'll run it by my roommate.
Yeah.
Not doesn't hurt.
Right, exactly. Just gonna warn you, the first season's a little bit slow. It's kind of
Okay.
setting the stage. So if you're like, well, this is kind of boring, you just gotta
Yeah.
stick with it.
Okay.
There's a lot of shows like that. I never watched The Office, but everyone said the first season sucked, and then
Yes.
it got better.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
I'm
assuming
huge
you've
Office
watched
fan.
The Office by the way your jaw dropped when I said that.
Yeah, huge Office fan over here. Still surprised you haven't seen it. You're not going to be
Yeah,
able to see it either. It's not on Netflix anymore.
I know, I know.
That
I don't know
that's
why. I just never got the drive, the kick to try it out.
that's just heartbreaking, man.
I was a huge Big Bang Theory guy.
Not a Big Bang Theory person.
It's funny. I feel like a lot of people who like The Office don't
Yeah,
like the Big Bang Theory. Like
yeah,
it's different kinds of comedy. So
yeah.
I
That's
don't know.
actually very fair. That's
Yeah.
very fair. I like just couldn't get into the Big Bang Theory, but The Office has my immature comedy and humor that like
Yeah. Yeah,
nobody else will get.
The Big Bang Theory, it's a little more, it's got some sophisticated science jokes and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
You'd think I'd be interested in that,
Right,
right?
you're in molecular biology.
Yeah, no, I like the stupid jokes, like the most inappropriate things you can think of. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're watching Shorzy, or you watch Shorzy. That's
yeah, we
perfect.
did. That's why we
That
kept watching it. That was so funny.
Yeah, I love stupid funny. Like
Yeah.
just
Same.
that's good stuff. Especially if you need you get so sucked into school and like seriousness and busyness. You need some just like goofiness to
Yeah,
relax a little, ride the
exactly.
wave.
Exactly. See, you get it now.
Of course, of course. That's gonna be the new motto of life now.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
ride the
Why
ride the
not?
wave. Yeah,
Exactly. I
you
gotta get
have
like
to.
a sign in here that
Oh
just,
yeah, you could come up with a whole merch line, ride the
oh yeah, I
wave, and like,
like people know I've got like stickers.
oh yeah,
My Secret Santa got me a hoodie. I won't show you it because I baked in it, and so now it just has flour all over it. But yeah, I've got that stuff all over my room.
it's gonna be
So
the motto of the UConn women's hockey team.
oh, I am trying my hardest to make it. My
They're gonna
coach,
use that in recruiting someday. They're gonna say,
oh,
"Come to this program, ride the wave."
exactly. Hey, the coaches know too. The coaches look at
Yeah.
me and they go, "You riding the wave?" I go, "Yes, sir."
Right. If you're not riding the wave, what are you doing? You know,
Exactly. You're
you
just
can't just
fighting
sit there
against
treading
life.
water the whole time. You'll get
Yeah,
tired. You gotta just
yeah,
ride the wave.
exactly. Just ride it. Sit back, relax.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Otherwise life's too stressful, you know? You gotta
exactly.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
All
I
right.
understand that completely.
Yeah, I can't imagine that molecular cellular biology is, an easy course load. I'm sure you've got a lot of
Yeah. I'm in two separate labs right now.
mm,
So one on genetic analysis and the
oh
other
boy.
one on immunology. So
I
sometimes I need the stupid funny shows to
right.
get me on the wave.
Yeah, of course. Everybody does. No matter how serious you are, everybody knows there's that little part of them that likes it, whether
Oh
they
yeah.
want to admit it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta do what you gotta do to be happy in life.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. You get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, of course. All right. Well, that's probably a good place to wrap it up. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining me on this episode of the podcast. It was a good time.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And hey, everybody out there, just ride the wave and
just,
relax.
just ride the wave.